At the very edge of dawn, before the sun begins to claim the sky, the desert lies in silence. A vast, unmoving stillness. For a fleeting moment, the air is calm. The sand lies cool, untouched by the relentless heat that is soon to come. It holds the memory of the night. This is the Sahara Desert, a landscape of immense scale and unforgiving extremes. As the first light slowly spreads across the dunes, it reveals a world shaped by forces unseen. Every ridge, every hollow, carved by the wind over countless years. At first glance, it appears empty, lifeless, silent. But this silence is not what it seems. It is not emptiness. It is concealment. For beneath these shifting sands, hidden from view, life endures, rare, resilient, and waiting. But this calm is fleeting. As the sun climbs higher, the character of the desert begins to change with startling speed. The temperature rises relentlessly, and the very air begins to tremble. Heat distorts the horizon, bending the light. The boundary between earth and sky slowly dissolves. By midday, the Sahara Desert becomes a place of extraordinary hostility. Temperatures soar, often exceeding 50 degrees Celsius, conditions under which most forms of life would not survive. Water is scarce, shade almost non-existent. Every movement comes at a cost. In such an environment, survival demands more than strength. It requires restraint, precision, endurance. To the casual observer, this landscape appears utterly barren. An immense expanse of sand stretching far beyond the limits of sight. And yet, the desert is far from lifeless. Its inhabitants are simply unseen. A faint trail across the sand reveals the brief passage of a nocturnal wanderer. A solitary plant draws what little sustenance it can from an unforgiving earth. These are the quiet signatures of survival. For in the desert, life does not reveal itself easily. It endures in silence, hidden from the harsh gaze of the sun. To survive here requires a remarkable degree of adaptation. Every movement must be measured, every resource carefully conserved. Among the most enduring inhabitants of this landscape is the dromedary camel. Perfectly attuned to its environment, it can travel vast distances across the sand with minimal water and little sustenance. Its physiology is a testament to resilience, allowing it to withstand extremes that would prove fatal to most other creatures. And yet, even here, survival is never assured. In the desert, the margin for error is vanishingly small. But the desert is a land of contrasts. As swiftly as the heat arrives, it begins to recede. The sun dips toward the horizon, and with it, the intensity of the day slowly fades. Shadows lengthen, and the sand begins to cool. What was once an environment of relentless exposure becomes, for a brief time, a place of possibility. For many of the desert's inhabitants, this is the moment they have been waiting for. As darkness falls, a different world begins to emerge. A world of movement, of hunting, and of survival under the cover of night. Here, in the shifting silence of the Sahara Desert, the true story of life is only just beginning. With the setting of the sun, the desert undergoes a profound transformation. The heat that once dominated the land quickly begins to fade, and in its place comes a surprising chill. Beneath a vast canopy of stars, the Sahara Desert reveals a very different character. This is no longer a world of relentless exposure, but one of concealment and opportunity. For many of its inhabitants, night is not a time of rest, but of activity. And under the cover of darkness, life begins to move. As darkness deepens, one of the desert's most iconic inhabitants makes its appearance. The fennec fox, perfectly adapted to this environment, begins its nightly search for food. Its oversized ears serve a remarkable purpose, capable of detecting even the faintest movement beneath the sand. In a landscape where food is scarce, such sensitivity can mean the difference between survival and starvation. Every step is careful, every pause deliberate. For in the desert at night, the hunter must also remain wary of becoming prey. A faint sound beneath the surface reveals the presence of prey. The fox listens, calculating the exact location. Then, with remarkable precision, it strikes. The sand erupts as predator meets prey in a sudden burst of action. In the desert, opportunities are fleeting, and hesitation can be costly. Success here depends on speed, accuracy, and instinct. But not all hunters rely on movement. Some depend on stillness and near-perfect concealment. Buried just beneath the surface, the horned viper waits, patient and unmoving. Its body blends seamlessly with the surrounding sand, rendering it almost invisible. With only its eyes exposed, it watches and waits. For any creature that passes too close, the outcome is swift and decisive. In the darkness of the desert, danger can lie just beneath your feet. As the night unfolds, the desert becomes a place of quiet activity. Beneath the stars, countless creatures emerge, each following its own path in the search for survival. Predator and prey exist in a delicate balance, shaped by the unforgiving conditions of their environment. Every movement carries risk. Every success comes at a cost. In this world, survival is never certain. Life exists in a constant state of tension. Beneath the surface of the desert lies a hidden world. To the human eye, it appears still and unchanging. But look closer, and the sand begins to tell a different story. Tiny disturbances ripple across its surface, subtle signs of life moving just out of sight. Here, survival depends not on strength or speed, but on invisibility. For in this unforgiving landscape, the most successful hunters are those that remain unseen. Among the desert's most efficient predators is the horned viper. Its method of movement is unlike that of most snakes. By lifting sections of its body and placing them down in a precise sequence, it reduces contact with the scorching surface. This technique, known as sidewinding, allows it to move swiftly and efficiently across the sand. Every motion is calculated, conserving energy while maintaining control. In a place where heat can be as dangerous as hunger, such efficiency is essential. Not all hunters of the desert are large or easily seen. Some exist on a far smaller scale, yet are no less formidable. Beneath the surface and across the sand, a hidden community thrives. Scorpions, insects, and countless other creatures hunt, feed, and survive in ways rarely witnessed. Their world is one of precision and efficiency, where even the smallest advantage can determine survival. In this miniature landscape, the struggle for existence is constant and unrelenting. Across the desert, countless interactions unfold each night. Predators hunt, prey evade, and the balance of life is constantly reshaped. No creature exists in isolation. Each plays a role in maintaining the fragile equilibrium of this ecosystem. In such an extreme environment, even the smallest imbalance can have far-reaching consequences. And so, the desert endures, sustained by a delicate and ever-changing web of life. In the desert, survival is not always about resisting the environment. Sometimes it depends on leaving it behind. Across the vast expanse of the Sahara Desert, life cannot remain in one place for long. Resources are scattered, unpredictable, and often fleeting. To endure here, some creatures must do something far more demanding than simply survive. They must keep moving. Among the few capable of such journeys is the dromedary camel. Unlike the hunters of the night or the creatures that hide beneath the sand, these travelers face the desert head-on. Their strategy is not concealment, but persistence. They move across distances that would challenge even the most resilient animals, and they do so with a calm, unbroken rhythm. But distance comes at a cost. With every step, energy is expended. The heat intensifies, draining strength and testing endurance. There is no shelter here, no refuge from the relentless sun. And yet, stopping is not an option. For in the desert, stillness can be just as dangerous as the journey itself. Navigation in such a landscape is no simple task. The desert is ever-changing, its dunes reshaped daily by the wind. Paths vanish as quickly as they are formed. And yet, these travelers persist, guided by instinct, memory, and an understanding of the land that goes beyond what we can see. In a place without clear direction, they continue forward with remarkable certainty. In the desert, there is no final destination, only the journey itself. Day after day, step after step, life moves forward across an unforgiving land. It is not strength alone that ensures survival, but persistence, the willingness to continue even when the path ahead is uncertain. And so, across the vast and ever-changing expanse of the Sahara Desert, the journey goes on. At first, the signs are almost imperceptible. A shift in the wind, a subtle change in the air. Across the Sahara Desert, these small signals often indicate something far more significant. For in this environment, calm can give way to chaos with little warning. What begins as a whisper soon becomes a roar. The wind gathers strength, lifting vast quantities of sand into the air. Within moments, visibility is reduced to almost nothing. The landscape itself seems to vanish. This is one of the desert's most formidable forces, the sandstorm. Powerful, unpredictable, and utterly unforgiving. For the desert's inhabitants, survival depends on rapid response. There is no time to hesitate. Larger animals shield themselves as best they can, turning away from the wind and closing vulnerable openings. Smaller creatures disappear entirely, vanishing beneath the sand or retreating into hidden shelters. In these moments, instinct becomes the difference between life and death. Within the storm, the desert becomes almost unrecognizable. The air is thick with sand, each grain carried at high speed by the wind. Vision is obscured, sound is distorted, and movement becomes nearly impossible. It is an environment of total disorientation. And yet, for those who endure it, this chaos is only temporary. As suddenly as it arrives, the storm begins to fade. The winds weaken, and the sand settles once more. What remains is a landscape transformed. Dunes reshaped, tracks erased, the past momentarily wiped away. Slowly, life returns. Creatures emerge, cautious but resilient. In the desert, even the most violent events are part of a larger rhythm, a cycle of destruction and renewal. In the most remote corners of the Sahara Desert, life becomes increasingly scarce. Here, survival is not only a challenge of endurance, but of rarity. The creatures that inhabit this landscape are few, and their presence is fleeting. Many are seldom seen, their lives unfolding far from human observation. These are the desert's rare survivors. Among the rarest of these inhabitants is the Saharan cheetah. Perfectly adapted to its environment, it is lighter in color than its savanna relatives, blending seamlessly into the desert landscape. It hunts under the cover of darkness, avoiding the extreme heat of the day. Unlike other cheetahs, it travels vast distances in search of prey. Encounters with this elusive predator are exceedingly rare. It is, in every sense, a ghost of the desert. For herbivores, survival in the desert presents an even greater challenge. Food is scarce, and water is almost non-existent. The addax has adapted to these conditions in extraordinary ways. It can survive without direct access to water, obtaining moisture from the plants it consumes. Its slow metabolism allows it to conserve energy, enduring conditions that would prove fatal to many other species. And yet, despite these adaptations, its numbers continue to decline. Even in a place as vast as the Sahara Desert, change is inevitable. Human activity, climate shifts, and environmental pressures are altering this fragile ecosystem. For species already living at the edge of survival, even the smallest change can have profound consequences. The balance that sustains life here is delicate and increasingly uncertain. And so, life continues here, fragile yet persistent. These rare survivors endure against immense odds, their existence a testament to resilience. But their future remains uncertain. In the vast and unforgiving expanse of the Sahara Desert, survival has always been a challenge. Now, it may be more uncertain than ever, and for some, time may be running out. With the rising sun, the desert reveals a different face. What was once a place of extremes begins once again to awaken. Light returns to the vast expanse of the Sahara Desert, and with it, opportunity. For those who have endured the night and survived the trials of this unforgiving land, a new day offers another chance. Across the desert, life begins again. Each creature resumes its search for food, shelter, and survival. Every movement is deliberate. Every action is shaped by the demands of the environment. In a land where resources are scarce, nothing is wasted. The balance of the desert is never still. It is a constant exchange, a cycle that repeats itself day after day. Predators hunt, prey evade, and through this delicate interaction, life is sustained. It is a system shaped not by abundance, but by precision. From the smallest insect to the largest traveler, every form of life here is defined by resilience. Each species has found its own way to endure the challenges of this extreme environment. Some rely on speed, others on patience. Some remain hidden, while others cross vast distances. But all share a single purpose: to survive. The desert is a place of extremes. It tests the limits of life in ways few environments can. And yet, against all odds, life persists. It adapts, it evolves, and it continues. Across the vast and unforgiving expanse of the Sahara Desert, this cycle has endured for countless generations. And as the sun sets once more, the desert remains a world of challenge, of resilience, and of life against all odds.